Good afternoon, friends. Stephen Ben-Nun here with Israeli News Live over here on Patreon. And been a while since I had a chance to talk to you guys, and we've got several different stories that we're going to want to be covering for you here on Patreon. And today we're going to be dealing with the asteroid issue. I know that's something that a lot of people just do not want to hear about. But yet at the same time, I'd like to try to keep you updated. I know that Mike from around the world had talked on Paul Begley's program about October asteroids coming in. So I was actually in a meeting today, about an hour and a half long. So we covered this issue quite in depth, and I'm going to share and update you on that, as well as some other things. I'll have to I'll do each one of these kind of in a separate video for you. There is a very strange creature in Boca Raton, Florida, that had actually killed a manatee. And it's not anything that you're actually going to be able to find online. There's no video footage been put there. It was submitted by a charter boat group there out of Boca Raton. And of course, they're concerned because of tourism. And the information was sent to the Pentagon, and the Pentagon reviewed the video footage of what they saw. So we'll be going into that in another broadcast there. But it is a very, very disturbing creature that they actually had saw there. And then we'll be getting into, actually I'll probably do it on Israeli News Live, the why we have all of our troops or tanks and things like that have been showing in videos. Why are they headed to the west? We know the answer to that. So we'll be sharing that. That I'll be making public there. There are other issues that I want to share with you guys here on Patreon. At least one other one. I forget what that topic was, but at any rate, this one here is what we're going to cover first. Here is this issue about the asteroids, and so let's get right into this and talk a little bit about it. I actually have on the screen for you now, massive 774 meter long asteroid is about to fly by really close to Earth. This is actually in September is when this is going to happen here. There's actually several asteroids that will come dangerously close to the Earth. On this one particular one, I think they're talking about this coming by actually tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, on the 9th of September. And when I say dangerously close, it's supposed to be, what is it? What do they have on here? 366,000 kilometers, which, I mean, that's a long way, no doubt about it. But what they talk about is the fact that the Earth's gravitational pull could affect it. And these asteroids are very, they kind of travel in a kind of a very odd way. And so they're not really for sure what they're going to do. And so in the article, they kind of go into that. Now, these are not the ones that we're concerned with. I just put it up there just to kind of show you, though, some of these large asteroids that are coming by 300 meters, and the ones coming by tomorrow is, oh gosh, how big is that one there? 774 meters in diameter. That's a pretty doggone big asteroid. I mean, you're talking about 6 football fields at least in size and length there. But at any rate, I wanted to find out more about this October issue and what's going on there. And of course, I was told that, yes, we'll start seeing some of these asteroids in September, some that'll be hitting the Earth. But most of the asteroids are anticipated to be hitting around the equator area. And of course, countries along the Earth's equator are the areas that would be hit. And there's quite a number of these asteroids, but none of these are extinction level events, nothing like that. In fact, the one that they're talking about that would hit around Puerto Rico, like the size of a washing machine. Well, that's not that big of an asteroid. Now, I think that is after it's already burned up its outer layer and has come into the atmosphere. But it is expected to create a pretty good sized sonic boom. That's only one of many that are going to be hitting in that area. I've been told that Central and South America, mainly like Venezuela, Colombia, places like that will actually be affected. They are anticipating some of the asteroids that will be hitting in October could affect the southern tip of Florida, like Miami, the Keys, etc. But again, nothing that would be extinction level. Maybe somewhat of a small wave or something. Might get a small tidal wave out of it. When I say small, I'm talking about very small, not anything large. You might get a 20-foot wave or something like that might be as a result of that. But another part of the world that is going to be affected by this, and all you kind of have to do is just kind of follow the map across, and it'll make more sense to you, and that is China. China also is sitting on that equator line. Parts of its country are. And one of the major concerns that China has in this is their dams that they have built. Their infrastructure was never built very strong. And they are anticipating to have some of these asteroids hitting north of those dams. And of course, it could cause enough seismic activity as a result that would cause the dams to break. So I've been told that many countries are actually working together. And that's one of the reasons why I put up this article right here back from 2011, where it says the biggest obstacle in deflecting a killer asteroid away from Earth may be humanity's inability to get along. So they got to work together. And there are articles out there where Japan and China, the United States, all these countries, even though they have differences with one another, want to kill each other half the time, are willing to work together. And as of right now, I've been told they are all working together. China is working with the United States. Japan is working with China. Russia working with both the United States, Japan, and China as well. These countries have all come together with the common goal of trying to deflect, destroy, or whatever they can with these asteroids. But as I was told, there's so many of them coming in this cluster, there's no way they're going to be able to get all of them. So they're focused on the larger of these asteroids here and trying to do what they can to either destroy them or deflect them or something along that line there. And so I'm sure that they will probably manage to take care of some of these, but then again, not all of them. And of course, in our meetings, we always go back to November, late November. And by the way, when we say October, I know that these asteroids are supposed to hit after the 10th of October. It won't be before then. The reason I know that is because I'll actually be getting another update on the right around the 10th, and then we'll have a better picture of when these are going to actually hit, what areas will be affected. Like I said, when they're messing with these things up there, they're still affecting their orbits. They're still, so we don't know for sure where they will end up going. But as I've been told, most of these are going to definitely be hitting around that area. Another possibility of these asteroids too, and let me kind of go back to the map there to share this with you, that is of a great concern, and this has been coming up in Pentagon meetings about this as well, and that is the glacier regions of the Earth there, especially when you get around the North Pole. Greenland has been brought up in meetings that have gone on in the Pentagon more recently. And I mentioned to you not too long ago about the possible outbreak of another very, very deadly type of virus. And it is believed that buried deep in the permafrost is either a bacteria or a virus. Now I'm being told that the concern are the asteroids that would actually hit glacier areas. That would actually, because of the heat that they pack when they come in, especially when they are sizable, can cause a massive melt-off very quickly. And so that's why the scientists are very concerned. And I've been told that there is something going on amongst these scientists that they're not disclosing fully what they have discovered buried beneath the ice, but it is believed to be some very deadly contagions that we have nothing to defend ourselves against. One interesting thing as well that was said to me is that global warming, when you hear the word global warming, it is really because of what the asteroids will do when they begin to hit the ice and cause a rapid melt of the ice. So if you think about that, and you think about a possibility of a rapid melting of ice. And then we think about this idea of storms. If you remember, we have the different hurricanes. And I told you earlier in the year that they were anticipating storms that could get centers that could reach 200 mile per hour in winds because of the waters of the ocean that are heating up and things like that. Now, as I mentioned to you, I think about 2 weeks ago, I was told that they were using HARP to try to suppress a lot of the storms that have been forming. But I think at this point now they have just kind of pulled that back because HARP was causing more problems than doing any good. And now they're just letting the storms form and do what they will. Mindy was something that just kind of formed recently. So it's not going to really do much of anything. It's only at 40 mile per hour on the winds right now off the coast of Florida. Of course, depending on its movement at 21 miles per hour, so I'm sure it's just going to stay like a tropical storm is about all. But Larry, on the other hand, its winds are already at 110 mile per hour at the center there. It's supposed to track off north and not hit the mainland United States. But if for some reason, some kind of pressure, something changes, and let's say it goes below that low pressure system or that high pressure system there that's coming there, and it got caught at the bottom, then it could potentially hit the United States and might very well actually increase in strength there. But as of right now, not anticipated to. And of course, we're already here in September. So the likelihood of seeing any of those huge storms, we may not see this year. We may only see the one that hit Louisiana. They said that the wind meter broke at 150 mile per hour winds when it came ashore in Louisiana there. So I guess we won't really know for sure what the wind speeds were, but I wouldn't think if it was even above 150, wouldn't have been very much more than that. But still, 150 mile an hour winds, it was the strongest storm to hit in 160 years on the Louisiana shores there. So that's concern in itself. But with everything going on and stuff, and like I said, with this sudden melting of the glaciers, if that were to happen, especially even in October, I don't remember for sure any named hurricanes October. Maybe we could kind of look at that October hurricanes to see if we ever had any of that on record. But if there has been, then let's see, we got here Michael in 28 hit in Central Florida. Well, there you go, right there. 160 mile per hour winds we have right there. And let me just, I want you to disable your ad blocker to be able to do something. All right, so we did it for you there. All right, let's try it again. All right, yeah, so October hurricane history, according to this article right here, said October features the U.S. southern tier being hot spot for tropical activity. Meanwhile, the Atlantic hurricane season peak has already come and gone with the conclusion of September. In October, tropical and cyclone formation is mainly in the Western Caribbean by kind of going on down there. But let's see, the upper level. There were 5 named storms developed in October of 2019, but only Tropical Storm Nestor and Olga made landfall in the U.S., and they were both Gulf Coast landfalls. The other 3 storms developed in the open Atlantic and remain far from the U.S., kind of like what Larry's doing right now. So, but nonetheless, you have this storm here that they're showing in the picture right there that hit, and gosh, what storm would that have actually been? Okay, here we go. In 2018, hit Central Florida Panhandle near Mexico Beach as a Category 5 hurricane, 160 mile per hour winds. That was in 2018. In 1995, Category 3 hurricane with 115 mile per hour winds hit the Panhandle. Isabel in 1964, south of Marco Island. That would have been out there on the east coast. Like Marco Island is like around West Palm Beach area. And King in 1950 at 105. And an unnamed hurricane in 1944 near Port Charlotte. Seems like Florida gets hammered when it comes to those late storms there. So yeah, we're still not out of the danger zone of some very powerful hurricanes hitting the United States. And oddly enough, when you're looking at that, let's say for that one in October that hit in 2018, it was a Category 5. Imagine then if we had a sudden melt-off of the glaciers from asteroids, whether it be September. Now, September or October, whatever the case may be, that could cause some hurricanes as well. And that's some of the things that's been said to me. Things will change as a result of those geological changes. Speaking of geological changes, we have a lot of earthquakes going on right now as well. Down here in Mexico, San Agustin, Mexico. Whoop, wrong one. It is Acapulco, Mexico. 7.0 earthquake hit today. And look at all the earthquakes in the United States. Just a huge number in the U.S. alone there. So we got some serious things coming, friends, and we just wanted to kind of update you on that, let you know about the dangers that are coming our way, and especially for our friends in Puerto Rico. I really hate to hear about this, that Puerto Rico is going to be one of those target areas there where they're anticipating these asteroids to hit. There's actually supposed to be, and again, it still would not be a massive asteroid by no stretch of the imagination. When you're looking at the size of a washing machine or even the size of a car, would not be major, but they're expecting quite a few asteroids to hit. And that's the area that they're looking at, as well as China. Nothing like the one that's supposed to hit in November that's a quarter of a mile wide off the coast of California. That will be devastating. And that's going to have a lot to do with what we're going to be talking about later over on Israeli News Live on our iConnectFX.com/Israeli News Live channel there. We're going to be talking about the military and why all the tanks are being moved out west. It has a lot to do with events that are coming. I'm Stephen Ben-Nun with Israeli News Live. Good evening.